I grew up in a neighborhood on the northwest side of Chicago. It was the city of Chicago, but it was the northwest corner. My family was a Catholic family, and we belonged to a parish called St. Hilary's. We'd go there to go to church every Sunday. Uh, I think they had bingo. I don't remember ever doing bingo. There would be some canned food drives where we would donate some canned food to the needy people in the neighborhood. There was also a school where I went to kindergarten called Jameson. And that was just not Catholic. It had no affiliation with any religion. But the apartment where we lived was owned by Jewish people or Jews. Now, sometimes people use the word Jew to say something, maybe some people that really don't like Jewish people would say that with a bad connotation. I guess we kind of did, but I didn't know what a Jewish person was. So Jameson was considered, when I was a kid, that was the school for Jews. Didn't know what a synagogue was or a temple or, any of that. Didn't know anything about the Jewish culture. And I think our landlord was not really a practicing Jew. I don't remember anything about Hanukkah until I got, more in grammar school, 3rd grade, 4th grade, where we had some Jewish teachers. Long story short, you can be raised in a racist way, in a mildly racist way. So, there's something, there's a continuum there between someone saying, we don't have any Black friends and we don't know about Black people, and a lynch mob or a Ku Klux Klan member, somebody wants to kill Black people. So there's a continuum there. Same thing with anti-Semitism, or what's really that's the wrong term, because Arabs are Semites in Palestine. Palestinians are more Semitic than the people that are call themselves Jews there. So this term anti-Semitism is used as a weapon, and it's used as a slur against people that maybe they just are against genocide. So this is thrown around all over the place. But if there are people that dislike Jewish people, maybe there are people who don't like the way they do business or the culture or something like that. And then there's all the way at the end, the people that actually want to kill a person because they're a Jewish person, only because of their affiliation with Jewishness. So once again, there's a continuum of racism against white people, against Black people, against Jewish people, against Asians. I know a guy who was anti any Asian because of World War II and Pearl Harbor. And he didn't really know the difference between Japan, the Japanese people, the Chinese people, the Korean people, these three key Asian countries. And that makes my point. My point is it's based on ignorance, right? It's ignorance. People that don't know, they really don't know. And they hear rumors and they're raised in ignorance, as I was. But I would say that my family and the way I grew up, and the culture that I grew up in, was not anti-Jewish. It was very, very mild, to where we differentiated because we were Catholics, which I'm not anymore, by the way, nor am I Jewish. Where we didn't really, I didn't know about Jewish people. I didn't know anything about their culture, but our landlord was a Jew. Is that bad? No, it's not bad. It's not good. So the point I want to make is that, there are some people that are Jewish people now that are calling for the genocide of all Palestinians, that are rejoicing in shooting children in the head, because what they say is these people are going to grow up to be terrorists. So it's okay. And you see them cackling and laughing and making fun of Palestinians death and pain and suffering and starvation right now. By the way, this is March 15th, 2024, and the war is still going on. Not really a war, it's a slaughter, right? Because people with jet airplanes and some of the best weapons in the world are murdering people wholesale that have maybe rocks to throw. I'm talking about the women and children. Over 10, 15,000 of them have been slaughtered. Not by accident, obviously, not an accident, on purpose, obviously. But there is a group of Jewish people, excuse me, there's a group of Jewish people, I got to drink a little water here. There's a group of Jewish people like a Jewish Voice for Peace. And what prompted me to make this video right now was the people that are at the border of Gaza on the Egyptian side. The trucks with all of the supplies are being held up, and they're being blocked by Zionist Jews that are extremist Jews that are genocidal. They won't let the trucks come in. And I guess the trucks, you know, somebody is, and the police, maybe the IDF is protecting these people and not allowing the trucks to come in as well. Because otherwise these people could just be dragged out of the way and the trucks could go through and feed the people that are literally starving, dying from lack of food. They've even run out of animal feed, haven't they, to eat? But there are a group of Jewish people that have a truck of supplies. And these Jewish people think we don't need to kill. Maybe we don't agree with Hamas, what Hamas is doing. Maybe we don't agree with some of the militant groups that are defending Gaza. But we don't want to see women and children starve to death. That's inhumane. So these are people with a conscience. These are people who didn't grow up, or at least maybe rejected this idea that even the children and the women that are non-combatants, these are just peaceful people like you and I, they shouldn't starve to death, but they are being actively starved to death by the Israeli government, you know, the Israeli military, the IDF. They're bombing them, they're shooting them when they go to get aid, when they're walking to a truck to get some flour, they're getting shot and killed. It's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard in my life. And it absolutely blows my mind, and millions of us, our minds are absolutely blown that this is allowed to occur. And people like Blinken, people like Netanyahu, people like, you know, Genocide Joe, I'm just afraid of what they're going to have to deal with. I'm afraid of their accountability because it's going to be really, really severe. So, beautiful Jews, fantastic Jews, wonderful Jews that really, really care. So we can't make these generalities about Palestinians or about Jewish people, even though 75%, the estimated number, 75% of the inhabitants of Israel, the Jewish people of Israel, want to have Hamas destroyed, which is, everybody knows it's never going to happen, but they want to totally dominate that area and take over because they were raised with this kind of an ideology, this ignorant, this murderous, this homicidal ideology, this entitlement, this sense of entitlement, and this sense of superiority. It's absolutely ridiculous. But when you're raised in an ideology, a lot of times we don't know. We don't know how unfair we are. If we are designed, you know, the ideology can be designed like any religious fanatic. Their ideology is designed to prevent them from being able to reason. And any information, like I did Scientology for 5 years, I was not allowed, and I did not allow myself to consider any other opinion. Any challenge to Scientology was just evil. And I was brainwashed to do that. Well, after 5 years, I realized what an absolute scam Scientology was, and I don't support it at all anymore. And I see it as completely qualifying as a cult. Same thing with Jehovah's Witnesses, which I also did a 5-year stint in Jehovah's Witnesses. Evangelical Christianity, I know it well, and I don't support that at all because most of them are really supporting the genocide because their ideology is telling them, oh, it's okay. These are God's chosen people, and some ridiculous thing they call a prophecy from some 2,000-year-old book. You know, and that's what they're going by. Instead of, oh, Maybe it's wrong to murder women and children while they're hiding in the home and just trying to survive. It's ridiculous. But my point here is that don't hate Jewish people, because there are some Jewish people that are really against the genocide. And there's a lot of them all over the world that are joining in marches. And like I mentioned, Jewish Voice for Peace. These are wonderful people because they understand what love is. They understand what compassion is. So don't be a racist. And just because somebody's a religion or a skin color or a Republican or a Democrat or a vegan or a carnivore, don't automatically hate them, because that doesn't work. And that's not working. And we need to put an end to that, not to the people, but to the very, very dangerous ideologies. Understand what your ideology is and think, is that a compassionate one? Is that one that can help humanity live together in peace and harmony? Maybe not. Have a good day.